Piedmont Middle School. My name is Karen Ship and I am your assistant principal. Today, you will be watching a video on how to select your elective classes for next year as 7th and 8th graders. Unlike your 6th grade year where you were assigned the elective wheel, now next year as 7th and 8th graders, you will be able to pick the electives you wish to take. You will hear from your counselors on how to make these selections in Infinite Campus, and you will hear from each of the teachers about their course so you know what you're interested in. So next up, let me introduce your counselors, Miss Amy Sharp and Miss Lane Balaban.
Hi, everyone. So we're here today to talk about scheduling for 7th grade, which is very exciting. One of the things that is going to be different next year is that your electives are going to be offered from periods 1 through 7. So this year you're used to having your wheel, which is one period throughout the day, but next year you're going to have electives that are kind of all throughout the day. Something else that's new and different is that some of your electives are going to have 8th graders in them. Not all of them, but depending on which electives you're in, there could be a mix of grades in your class. One thing that we want to make sure you take very seriously are the electives that you're choosing. Please make sure to take time to look at the course descriptions in our course guide that's posted online and choose the electives that interest you and excite you most. I know that it's probably very tempting to try to choose an elective that you think your friend's going to be in, but please make sure, since it's your schedule, that you're choosing classes that you actually want to learn about and take. Other than that, you are going to be going on to Infinite Campus to make your selections online, and then you're going to print off that selection request form, and you're going to have that signed and then turn it into the main office once you're done.
Okay, these are the classes that you will take in 7th grade: language arts, social studies, math, science, PE, and 2 electives each semester. Core in 7th grade is only 2 periods, which is language arts and social studies. You get to pick 3 of those semester electives, and the 4th one is a required reading elective, which will be the final reading class that you take here at the middle school. So that means one semester you're going to have 2 electives, and the other semester you will have 1 elective and that required reading class. Unfortunately, you cannot ask which semester you get reading or an elective. There's a lot that goes into scheduling and balancing, and we just can't accommodate everyone's requests, so we don't take any. When you make your elective choices, you get to select 3 primary requests, and then we also ask for 3 alternate requests. And this is really important. If you're going to zone out everything else I said today, listen to this. It's really important that you pick 3 alternatives that you actually want. Many of you will get some of your alternative choices. We do our very best to get everyone in their primary electives, but we really rely on those alternates when we need to. Don't make them a throwaway. And if you don't pick any alternates and you just leave it blank, we'll assume that we can put you into any class. So make sure you pick 3 primary electives and 3 alternates.
So this is an example of a request form. So when you are in IC, you are gonna make your selections for your electives, but your required courses are already gonna be listed and pre-populated under that requested courses list. So for this 7th grader example, the math, language arts, reading, social studies, PE, and science are already going to be there. And then when you make your primary elective selections, they're going to get kind of just mixed in with that top section list. So this 7th grader selected a semester of art and then 2 semesters of jazz band, and they're in no particular order. They're just kind of listed as the computer does them. And then if you look towards the bottom of your slide or screen, the alternate courses are listed, and those are those 3 additional classes where if you can't get your top choices, then those are the electives that we should use to schedule. Something that's very important is this is the sheet you are going to print out, have your parents sign, and then submit to the main office. But we need you to first rank your elective preferences on it. So there's no way for us to know what your top choices are and what your least favorite class would be without you putting 1 through 6 next to each elective choice that is on that sheet. So it's just very important that you make sure you rank those, both primary and alternates, before you submit it to the main office. Something that is very important to keep in mind is once you hit submit online and once you hand that sheet over in the main office, you cannot come back and change anything. So again, please make sure you're taking time to look at the courses you're selecting, to make sure you rank them appropriately and that everything is how you want it to be before you turn it in, because once it's turned in, you cannot change.
Great. We'll be back in a little bit with some question and answers.
Hello, sixth graders. My name is Dr. Mullen, and I am here today to talk to you about seventh grade jazz band. One of the things that is different about band in seventh grade is we begin to work on jazz band. And the way it typically works is 2 days per week we devote to concert band style pieces, which would be the style that you're more familiar with from sixth grade. And then 2 days of the week we work on jazz band music. Now, something very exciting about jazz band is that we add a rhythm section. So we have all the instruments that you currently have in sixth grade band, and then we also add drum set, piano, guitar, and bass. So if you have experience on any of those instruments, drum set, guitar, piano, or bass, we welcome your participation in the jazz band as well. Some of the styles that we cover in jazz band are swing, funk, Latin, and rock. We also begin to emphasize improvisation and in all of those styles. There are also more performances in seventh grade jazz band. We have one performance each semester, and then for many years, maybe 7 or more years, we have had a yearly performance at Yoshi's in Jack London Square. We hope we'll be able to do that again. And there's also more music to be performed. In every performance, we typically play 2 jazz band pieces and 2 concert band pieces. Seventh grade jazz band is a full year class, so please make sure you are signing up for both semesters. And of course, email me if you have any questions. And so, seventh grade jazz band is an option for you next year. I really hope to see you in the band.
Hello, sixth grade. I'm Miss Wild, and I'm here to talk to you about orchestra at Piedmont Middle School. If you play the violin, viola, cello, or bass, you are absolutely welcome in this class, and I would love to have you. Orchestra starts to change once we get into 7th and 8th grade. In 6th grade, we spent a lot of time working in our method book, Strictly Strings. We were practicing good playing technique and making a good tone. But in 7th and 8th grade, we dive more into orchestral playing, and we learn orchestra techniques and ensemble skills. And in 7th and 8th grade, we meet more times a week, so we're able to work on a wider variety of music too. Some of the pieces we played this past year include Dragon Hunter, Pachelbel's Canon in D, and the main theme from Star Wars. We also get to work on some special string techniques, like shifting, moving your hand higher on the fingerboard to reach more notes. And we also learn vibrato, which is where you vibrate your hand to get a really nice singing tone on your instrument. So those are some things that you can look forward to learning. We perform 2 concerts a year, one in December, one in May, and it's so much fun. I had a great time this past December concert, and I gotta say, it feels really good to be making music in person. If you've taken lessons on a string instrument, violin, viola, cello, or bass, but you've never played in an orchestra, you are absolutely welcome to sign up for orchestra. It's so much fun getting to make music in a group with other people, and there's really nothing like being surrounded by sound and friends. Again, if you play a string instrument, violin, viola, cello, or bass, I would love to have you in the orchestra. There's nothing like making great art with great people, and I hope to see you in the orchestra room.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about study skills and math lab in 7th grade. So these were both class options for you in 6th grade, but they look a little different. Study skills in 6th grade was a drop-in class that you could get a study skills slip for from a teacher and you could go to anytime. That's not the structure of how it works in 7th or 8th grade. It's a class that you actually have to choose as an elective. You sign up and you take as one of your elective choices, and it's embedded into your school day. It will give you a time to check your planner, check Schoology, email teachers, do homework. The teacher will be checking in with you. You can ask them questions. It's a time during the day to have the ability to be a student and work on study skills and get practice doing your homework, and that is going to be embedded into the school day. So again, if this is something that you're interested in, you'd have to sign up for it, and you can take it for one semester, not the full year. It will not be available as a drop-in like it is in 6th grade. Math Lab, similarly, is a class that's available this year to students who wanted to do it in lieu of an elective wheel because they wanted some help with their math skills. This is a class that you could take next year as well. It would, again, be one of your elective choices. It's going to be with a math teacher. It will give you time to work on math homework, ask questions about concepts, review a concept that maybe multiple students are missing. And that is a class that actually could be taken all year. So you could sign up for Math Lab semester 1 and semester 2. So these are 2 classes. If you are interested in taking, just make sure you sign up for them as one of your elective choices.
Hello. There are 3 world languages taught here at Piedmont Middle School. There's French, Mandarin, and Spanish. The 3 semesters that you would take at Piedmont Middle School are the equivalent of level 1 at the high school. The standard pathway is you take 1 semester of world language, whether it's French or Mandarin or Spanish. Level A, we call it here. You take that in 7th grade. And then you have world language BC, French BC, Mandarin BC, or Spanish BC. That is an all-year class that you take in 8th grade. And those 3 semesters equal level 1. So that means if you complete level 1 at PMS, it puts you on the standard pathway for the AP level, the advanced placement level. So you do level 1 at PMS, freshman, sophomore, and junior years. You do level 2, 3, and 4. And then senior year, you can take advanced placement world language. So it's a great time to get started if you want to complete the most language learning that you can at school. In Piedmont schools. So we cover all 4 modalities of language. There is listening, of course. There is speaking. You're going to learn to speak the language. There is reading. You're going to learn to read the language. And then there's writing. You'll learn to write the language. These are academic electives. You will be graded. There are tests. There's homework. They're all very similar in the amount of work. There's not one that is easier or harder in the way that it's taught here. But it's a great place and way and time to start your world language study. But it's not all academics. We also do cultural activities in all 3 languages. There might be dance. There might be music and songs. There might be films. There might be festivals and holidays that we look at, traditions and other celebrations that we actually participate in. And of course, there has to be food. So we hope that you start in either French, Mandarin, or Spanish in 7th grade. World language. It's important. I'm going to end with a joke. So what do you call someone who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you call someone who speaks 2 languages? You guessed it, bilingual. What do you call someone who speaks 1 language? Wait for it, wait for it. American. So defy this joke and be a bilingual or even a trilingual American. Hello, welcome to Green Team, or the potential for Green Team. This is another leadership elective here at our school. It's unique. This is your only chance to take a class like this, so I hope you'll join us. environmental leadership. So what do we do? There's service learning. This is, of course, before the pandemic, but I'm expecting we'll be able to get back to this. Gleaning on the left, help with some materials that were being stored for Green Team on the right, with one of our community heroes, Mr. John Morrison, former principal of Piedmont Middle School. There's also cultivating beauty. Oops, let me move this. Can't see it. Oh well, that says beauty underneath that little, underneath that, the box of me. So the Learnscape Lunch Park came out of Green Team. That's why we have it, and it is one of the responsibilities of Green Team to maintain the place. We also do. We are also cultivating food. This is just one day's harvest with a class a couple years ago. And we are, of course, eating that food and preparing that food. We're also preparing herbal medicines. This is students last year with elderberries harvested on campus that we made medicinal elderberry syrup with. Basically, the point of this class is it's a do-it-yourself kind of class, figuring out how to do all sorts of different stuff. These students 2 years ago made this mosaic and put it in the Learnscape Lunch Park. Yes, we have lots of tools we use. Also, there is a sense of sort of freedom of the campus during class. As long as you're responsible, you have the ability to go around and do different projects, even not yeah, anyway. This class is going beyond and deeper into things you might know something about. You might know about reduce, reuse, recycle, but there's so many different levels before we even get to recycle. In this class, we're looking at the climate crisis and figuring out ways to take action in our own lives and advocate for the kinds of actions we want to see on community, state, and national level also. At home, we have moved to some succulent cultivating at home, and the idea is that we'll be planting these in some of the spaces on campus. So Green Team is about exploring solutions to our various problems that we face as a society and trying to do something about it, learning how to deal through art, through advocacy, through education. It's a fun class. It's an active class. I hope that you will join us. Hello. Welcome to Animation Workshop, or the discussion of it. Hope you'll join me in this fantastic class that we have here at the school. Here's an example of kind of a toss-off animation that kids made for me because they were done with other projects. This is called pixelation. And here it is, Animation Workshop, right? And then here's another one. This would be hand-drawn. All this was done with iStop motion and our dock cameras in class, and then some editing software. And here's a last one. This would be claymation. We use all sorts of different materials when we're in the classroom. Lots of different equipment that can really help you get going. We don't just do animation, though. We're doing other things that can lead into animation. Sculpture. We do character design. We do group projects. Well, so, this class is about collaboration in the class. This was 2 different groups that came together working on I think they were working on a pixelation together and searching for just the right sounds. This was not a staged photo. That was them just working. We have guests that come in, professionals. There's also some field trips that we go on, or sometimes field trips come to us also. Of course, online, if that continue. Oh, I'm sorry. This is another example of equipment that we have. This is a multi-plane camera that people have used to do animation. And then if we are still stuck at home, we have figured out how to using, for example, this free app, Onion Cam 2 was real good. Here's an example of what one student did with Onion Cam 2 at home. So anyway, animation, it's a lot of fun for 7th and 8th graders. Hope to see you in the class. Hello, the film video workshop now. This is another one semester elective for 7th and 8th graders. You're going to learn to make short films in production companies. You'll plan, you'll film, you'll edit, and we'll screen them together. We're going to be watching a bunch of classic films and some film history as well. We're going to be doing photography also in this film class. And there'll be guest professionals and field trips such as to Walt Disney Family Museum. There's an annual Lucasfilm visit that we might get a chance to do, and then San Francisco Film Festival throughout the year, but especially in April. It's a really great introduction to the craft of filmmaking. And I wanted to show you just one. This is actually from this last semester, even at home. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be able to hear the soundtrack, but it's this thriller music or whatever. So this is a student playing around with something as boring as getting water and showing that they know how to actually film something. And so anyway, check this out, right? So even at home, we can make these films. And so this is practicing actually what's called coverage. And again, the music would make it funny, but I wanted to show you the kind of careful planning out of shots and then editing that puts it all together. So this is the kind of stuff you'll be learning in class. I hope you'll come and join us.
Welcome to Yearbook Broadcast Class, where you can produce a beautiful award-winning yearbook and do news broadcasts from our news broadcast studio. I'm Mrs. Smith, so let's go to Yearbook Broadcast. Yearbook Broadcast team. Join us to create a yearbook and news broadcasts that feature life at Piedmont Middle School.
Hi PMS, I'm Skylar Best, your ASB president.
And I'm Elsa Wawa, your ASB vice president.
We are here to talk about the ASB elective.
When you are an ASB, you get to plan many fun events for the school, such as dances, carnivals, fundraisers, and more.
You also get to make posters and design bulletin boards.
ASB is a very fun class where you get to work together as a team to create inclusive and fun events for the school.
Although ASB is very fun and engaging, there is a lot of hard work and responsibility that you need to put into the class.
ASB brings out the leader in everyone, with the opportunity to lead events and run for office.
There are many participation opportunities in ASB. You get to be part of a group that plans events such as the Halloween Carnival, school dances, fundraisers, and as a class, we choose a spirit day each month.
We hope that you consider being a part of ASB. It is a very fun and engaging class, and it brings out the best in everyone.
But make sure that if you're interested, you are prepared for the challenges, responsibilities, and commitments that come with being a part of this class.
Thank you.
And we hope you consider joining.
Hi everybody, my name is Mrs. Shore. I am excited to introduce the creative arts electives to those of you who are going to be 7th graders next year. I know some of you from first semester in the 6th art wheel, and I'm excited to meet the rest of you 2nd semester, and I'm looking forward to teaching you in the 7th and 8th grade. I will go ahead and start with our first class. Our first class is art. Art is a class that focuses specifically on drawing and painting, or two-dimensional media in general. So coloring, oil pastels, charcoal, pen and ink, what else? Digital art, so creating artwork on a tablet or on an iPad. Those all fall under the category of art or two-dimensional art. Here are some examples of my previous students' artwork in the past few years. This is a pen and ink drawing. Both of these are paintings, and this is a digital artwork on a tablet. I wanted to show you some examples of landscape painting. Both of these are pencil drawings, and this is using pastel or oil pastels. So who this class is for is anybody who's excited about art. You do not have to have experience previously in drawing or painting. This is a beginner's class. In fact, all of the creative arts classes are beginner's classes. So if you're excited about taking art and if you're willing to learn, these classes are great for you. A lot of my students really love anime and drawing characters, but that's not a requirement. So if you're somebody who really likes creating characters, this is also a great class for you. And it could be realistic artwork, it could be fantasy-based artwork. It is up to you. Our second class is ceramics. Ceramics is a three-dimensional sculpture class. So you're building things that are in 3D or three-dimensional. You'll be able to look at them from all angles. They're actual objects that you pick in your hand, can pick up in your hand. And you'll be learning three main methods: the pinch method, the coil method, and the slab method. Those are the foundation of hand building techniques. And here are some examples of student artwork that were created in those classes. These right here are pinch method monsters, fantasy-based pinch method monsters. This one right here is a design of a shoe. So you'll be designing and building something out of clay that resembles a shoe. And you'll be building some pottery or vessels that can hold other items in them. And if you love working with clay, if you love working three-dimensionally and building things with your hand, this is a great class for you. And again, you do not need to be an expert. This is a beginner's class. Computers. If you love computers and love to code, this is a class for you. The three main languages we'll be learning in computers are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So with HTML and CSS, you'll be learning how to create websites and web pages. You'll be creating your own website from scratch with no previous coding experience. So if you've never coded before, again, a beginner's class. So you'll learn how to use HTML. CSS makes websites look really awesome and colorful, and you can add images. So that's the second language you'll learn. And last but not least, you'll be creating an animation using JavaScript. And obviously JavaScript is a language that is for animation and games. Last but not least, Fab Lab. Fab Lab is a STEAM class. What STEAM stands for is science, technology, engineering, and art and making. And basically what it is a combination of a hands-on traditional class. So you are learning how to build things with your hands, usually three-dimensionally, but you can also do two-dimensional stuff, and you are learning to design things using technology. So it's a combination of doing things with your hands like cardboard sculptures, and learning how to use things like Makey and Scratch. A great example of both of these engineering and technology challenges is a Rube Goldberg machine. All right, so these 4 classes have one thing in common, and that commonality is creativity. If you have creativity or are willing to learn how to be more creative and willing to try, you are going to really enjoy these classes. And I hope you choose one of the classes or all of the classes as part of your 7th and 8th grade experience, and I'm looking forward to teaching you. And remember, you don't have to be an expert. These are absolutely for everybody, as long as you're willing and want to try. I hope to see you in those classes. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye.
Hey everyone, it is Kim Taylor and my assistant George. We are here, he's a cheetah, and I am your teacher for Drama 7-8. Why should you join Drama 7-8? Well, join it if you like theater, because it's fun. Join it if you don't know if you like theater, but you had fun in Drama 6, you're having fun in Drama 6, you're about to have fun in Drama 6. Join if you want to do the 3 C's. What are the 3 C's? You're going to collaborate, you're going to communicate, you're going to create. All sorts of things. Right, George? He's still learning the communication part. We're working on it. And so will you. It'll be fun. What are we going to do? We're going to play some games. We're going to do some exercises. We'll have some projects. We'll do some in-class performances. You know, and we'll expand our possibility to work together, right? Yeah, he's nodding his head. Anyway, we'll have fun. Join.
Okay, welcome to question and answer. So for this part, we are going to have Miss Sharp play the role of a 7th grade student, or as a 6th grader who is going to be scheduling to be a 7th grade student. And she is going to ask me some common questions that come up, as this can be a kind of complicated process. And then I'm going to do my best to answer them so that you have all the information you need to schedule your perfect and ideal 7th grade schedule.
Okay, Ms. Balaban, I am just super lost right now. I don't really understand how many do I have to pick and where do I do it?
Totally understand. So you get 3 elective choices as a 7th grader, and you're going to be doing all of your selections in Infinite Campus. That being said, you are going to choose 6 elective choices, 3 being the primary, the top ones that you want to have, and then 3 being your alternates in case we can't fit your top 3 into your schedule.
Okay, I think I get it now. But then August is a long time away. What if I'm not ready to make these choices now? And what if I change my mind? Like, do I have flexibility to just email you in May?
That is also a very good question. So you have to do your best to read the course guide and make your best decision, but you will have an opportunity in the 2nd week in the beginning of school to do an elective change. So you don't email me or your other counselor in May. What you're going to do is you're going to wait. You're going to go through the 1st week of class. And if you're still feeling like you made the wrong decision, you'll be able to fill out an elective change request in that 2nd week of school in August. And then we can see what we can do about updating your schedule.
Okay, I feel better already. What about a study hall? Because I just feel like I've gotten so much homework in 6th grade, and 7th grade is going to be even harder. Can I have time just to do homework at school?
So we don't offer a study hall class, but we do offer an elective called study skills, which is a little bit more structured, but would give you the opportunity in your day to be able to work on homework and have a teacher help guide you throughout that process. So if that's something that you feel like could be beneficial to you, you're going to want to select the study skills elective.
Okay, thanks. How about this like TA thing? I hear people like our office TAs or teacher TAs or library TAs. How do I sign up for that?
Sure. So TA stands for teacher assistant. And unfortunately for you, it is reserved only for 8th graders. So when you're in 8th grade, you absolutely can come back and try to select one of those TA positions. Essentially, what it is it is not a class. You don't have homework, but you are the helper to whatever room or situation you are assigned to. So if you're in the library, you're helping the librarians with what they need. If you're in the main office, you're running passes. It's definitely a fun experience, but you have to wait until you're in 8th grade to have it.
Okay, well, I actually have a couple questions about music now. So it's good that there's not room for TA because I have too many classes already that I want to take. So I want to sign up for music next year. How do I sign up for both semesters?
Okay. So it is definitely recommended that if you're going to do music, you do both semesters so you can get as much instruction in music as possible. You're going to want to sign up for both semester 1 and semester 2 music elective classes. And you will see that noted in IC. So you just want to make sure that you're signing up for both, for example, jazz band semester 1 and jazz band semester 2. Just make sure you have both of those in there, and that'll take up 2 out of your 3 elective choices as a 7th grader.
Okay, so you said it's recommended I do a full year of music, but is it required?
So it is not required, though it is definitely strongly recommended. You can just select one semester of a music class. Either so you can't choose which semester that would be. So you are just going to ask for one semester. That could end up being in your second semester, or it can end up being in your first semester schedule. And then you'll have the opportunity to have 2 other electives to fulfill those 3 choices that you get.
Okay, how about language questions? Because I know 7th grade is the first time we're starting to take language classes. I might be interested in Chinese, but what type of dialect do they teach?
So we offer here at PMS Mandarin for the Chinese class.
And what are the other 2 language electives?
So you can also, if you're not interested in taking Mandarin, you have the option of French or Spanish.
Okay. How about requirements? Like, do I have to take a language in middle school?
Sure. So you are not required at PMS to take a world language, but something that you should take into consideration is in order to take either French or Mandarin at the high school, you have to have taken the intro classes here at the middle school. So if you're only interested in taking Spanish and you rather wait and take that entry level Spanish in 9th grade, you can wait and do that. But if you want to pursue French or Mandarin, you have to take that class while you're here at PMS in order to enter that at the high school level.
Okay, now I have previous experience with a language because I have either taken a class or I talk at home in Spanish with my family. And I don't think I need Spanish A. Can I skip that class?
Sure. So if you feel like you already know enough to kind of skip over that A section of the world language and you want to accelerate, what we do is we offer these course mastery language tests. They happen in the springtime, usually mid to late March, and that's where you can show your language skills. If you end up showing mastery in that level of language, then you can skip the 7th grade language level A world language course. Our recommendation at that point is for you to delay language in 7th grade and take other enriching and exciting electives, and then you can rejoin your classmates in the 8th grade at the BC language level. Some students try to accelerate, and we recommend you holding off and just delaying your language instead. This isn't a recommended path, but if you're interested, you can consult with your school counselor about it. It could have potential ramifications in your 8th grade year schedule. So it's something that should not be taken lightly.
Okay, I think I want to do that. How do I sign up?
you'll want to do is just email your counselor and let them know that you're interested, and then you'll get instructions on how to go about that.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Balvin. This has been so helpful. Can you remind me who I talk to if I need to talk to one of my counselors? What is the alphabet breakdown?
Sure. So as a reminder, Ms. Sharp has the front end of the alphabet with last names starting from A through K. And then I have the last half of the alphabet, which is last names L through Z. And you can find our emails online. And we look forward to helping you with any additional questions or concerns you have about your 7th grade schedule.
Thanks, 6th graders. We're super bummed that we can't be with you in person for this, but please don't hesitate to email us or stop in the office if you have any questions.
Bye.